Birmingham, Alabama, there are two teams still standing in the Southeast region as we welcome you to the Jefferson Civic Center for the Southeast Regional Final between the Villanova Wildcats and the top seed Oklahoma Sooners. Here's how it's gone in the Southeast Regional, and the winner today will move on to the Final Four next week in Kansas City. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton. There may not be a more dangerous team left in the tournament than Oklahoma, maybe the heaviest favorite, certainly in the regional finals. However, Villanova has been counted out of more big games in recent years, only to come back and win in dramatic fashion. Their motto this year is find a way. Billy Cunningham, they have to find a way today, and the tempo is the #1 story in this one.
Right, and that's the adjustment Rolly Massimino has to make for two reasons. Number one, he'll be playing right into Oklahoma's hands if they get in a fast, quick tempo, so they'll try to use that 45-second clock. The other thing is the depth, and fatigue could become a factor if they do get in this 94-foot game that Oklahoma would like to see it.
And Billy, if they play that half-court game, you got to remember that Oklahoma has two very strong inside players in Harvey Grant and Stacey King that Villanova has to contend with.
To start the ball game, Rolly Massimino is most concerned with them, and they'll look to double down, force them to make the pass out to the perimeter, and look and live with the three-point shot from Oklahoma.
It should be a great contrast in styles. Let's see if Villanova can pull the upset. Coming up, the starting lineups in the Southeast Regional Final. Right now, let's meet the starting lineups and the public address announcer, Derek Scudder.
It's number 31, Mark Plansky. For Oklahoma, at forward, a 6'5" senior from Renton, Washington, number 44, Dave Seeger. The Villanova center, a 7'2" sophomore from Huntington, New York, number 33, Tom Grice. The Oklahoma center, a 6'10" junior from Lawton, Oklahoma, number 33, Stacey King. For Villanova, at guard, a 5'9" junior from Jersey City, New Jersey, number 3, Kenny Wilson. For Oklahoma, at guard, a 6' junior from Garland, Texas, number 10, Mookie Blaylock. For Villanova, at guard, a 6'6" junior from Altoona, Pennsylvania, number 42, Doug West. For Oklahoma, at guard, a 6'1" senior from Dallas, Texas, number 14, Ricky Grace. And introducing the head coaches for Villanova in his 15th season, Rolly Massimino. For Oklahoma in his 8th season, Billy Tubbs.
Well, the Duke Blue Devils are going to Kansas City, and one of these teams will as well. They have never met, ever. And we'll be back with the opening tip-off in just a moment. We're back at the Jefferson Civic Center here in Birmingham, Alabama. Oklahoma got here with a victory over Louisville. They have gone over 100 twice in the 3 games. And the Villanova Wildcats with an upset triumph over Kentucky, 80-74. Villanova has gotten to the Final Four 2 times previously. You know about their dramatic 1985 championship. And for the 3rd time in their history, the Sooners have gone to the regional finals. They've been to the Final Four 2 other times. Oklahoma in white, Villanova in the dark blue, and the Sooners have it. Joe Forte, David Dodge, and Sam Licklider are the officials, and Ricky Grace takes the first shot of the game from 3-point range and misses, and now Villanova will try to use the clock.
Use the clock, and defensively, Villanova will show 5 different sets defensively down the court the first 5 times just to see which one looks the best.
But they have the ball right now. What are they going to do?
They're going to use as much of that clock as they can. They'll look to get into operating their offense probably with around 15 seconds left on that 45-second clock.
Oklahoma playing very tight man-to-man defense. Blaylock is all over Wilson. Wilson will control the ball most of the way. Rice, the 7-footer, loses it inside, and it's taken down by Blaylock. Well, they used most of the clock, but they didn't get a shot off. Grace penetrating, tries to pass it. Taylor knocks it away, and it's still Oklahoma's ball.
With that type of offense, it's going to test the patience of Oklahoma defensively, that they don't start gambling, reaching, trying to create things that aren't there.
Laylock and Ricky Grace, two junior college transfers. And there's Grant's first shot, the rebound by Doug West. Seeger picks up Wilson early. Seeger is on West. He has been their best one-on-one, man-to-man defensive player the last 3 years.
Now Villanova's just in a simple 1-4 set offensively, and they'll work it down, as I said the last time, till 15 seconds, then get into their set offense.
Wilson, short on the baseline shot, and the rebound by Harvey Grant. Grant led the team in rebounds this year, just under 10. Still no score. Minute and a half going by. Stacey King misses from the baseline, and Rodney Taylor, who's been a good ball hand for Villanova, picks it up. Now Wilson.
The key to Oklahoma is their defense. That's where they create the turnovers and get out and run. They're a good offensive team, but an exceptional defensive club.
And they haven't had any reason for full court pressure yet, although we saw a little bit of it. Nothing like they used against Louisville the other night yet.
And the key is when they score, they'll go to that full court defensive pressure.
16 on the shot clock. They go inside to Grice. And Grice scores the first basket of the ball game with more than 2 minutes gone by. 2:14 to be exact. What was the number that Rolly Massimino put on the blackboard for points he wanted Villanova to give up?
Well, he feels they have to keep Oklahoma to 75.
King inside. Stacey King, the leading scorer at over 22. He had 24 points and led Oklahoma with 12 rebounds against the Cardinals.
And here's that full court pressure, man-to-man defense by Oklahoma.
But even if Villanova beats it, they're not going to be in any hurry. And as soon as I say it, they take a quick shot and Wilson hits.
Can't do that too often, Villanova, because that creates the fast tempo for this Oklahoma team.
Dave Seeger misses. Grice gets the rebound. 4-2 Villanova, 3 minutes gone by.
First 3.5 minutes have been just picture book tempo for Rolly Massimino and Villanova.
If Villanova can hit the shots and limit Oklahoma to one shot, they can control the tempo. But Taylor's shot is blocked by King, and it's last touched by Grace, and it'll be Villanova's ball. So if you make your shots and only allow one shot at the other side, you can control the tempo the way Massimino wants.
You sure can, and that's what their game plan is.
Off the screen is Doug West, and a three-pointer for Doug West. West led with 20 points. The top scorer for Villanova, and it's 7-2 Wildcats. Stacey King is double-teamed, and a foul against Tom Grice. His first. Billy Grice fouled out against Illinois and got into foul trouble the other night against.
Watch the double team. As a matter of fact, they'll end up triple teaming King down there on the baseline, and he picks up the foul.
When he got into foul trouble against Kentucky, Villanova managed to survive pretty well.
Yeah, and then before that game, Rolly Massimino felt the key for them to have any chance in winning that ball game against Kentucky was a big game from Tom Grice.
Look at the tournament Stacey King has had. Oklahoma did not do well at all from the free throw line, hit only 20 of 36 against Louisville.
If this continues to be this kind of tempo game, that would be a big factor because they're going to have to make those free throws.
King makes them both. He was 68% from the line coming in, and here's the pressure. to 4, Villanova leading. Seeger on West. He's all over Doug West.
This Oklahoma team can do this for 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It doesn't matter how long it takes. They'll be relentless.
Ricky Grace picks up the foul, and that is the first Oklahoma foul.
Now, the thing to watch was that frustration or what they're on Oklahoma's head, because they're not used to this type of tempo, especially in the first 3 games in this tournament.
Rodney Taylor double-teamed momentarily. Villanova's not going to be safe even when they're handling the ball around midcourt because Oklahoma can double easily out there.
They can double, and when you have a player like Laylock, who's one of the finest defensive guards in the country, he can create turnovers.
5-second violation against Villanova, so there's a turnover. Rolly Massimino We play hard and we'll have fun. That's the only thing he promised in this game. I wonder if he's having fun now.
Not right now. He's a little upset with the official. He thought that was a quick count on the 5-second call.
Sooners are only 1 for 5 from the field. And now Grant hits the second basket. King and Grant have all 6 of the Sooners' points. They trail by 1. And Tom Bryce, they didn't get it in time. And a 5-second violation will turn it over again. So 2 quick turnovers by Villanova, and the Sooners can take their first lead of the ball game.
And the more turnovers they create, the more aggressive they get on this basketball court.
Stacey King. No one picked up the ball. Villanova didn't go after the ball, and King's second try is good, and Oklahoma leads for the first time. Billy mentioned at the outset, you know the Sooners can play this style for 40 minutes, and since Villanova's not running it up, certainly not get fatigued at all.
And Villanova would like to see this a 20-minute ball game.
Steal by Blaylock. He took it right out of the hands of Massey and lays it in, and all of a sudden the Sooners lead by 3. Oklahoma has run off 8 in a row.
Rolly Massimino has to be very concerned. If they hit another basket or another turnover, Villanova might need a timeout to just slow things down and get it back at the pace he'd like to see it at.
Wilson. And it drops for second basket for Kenny Wilson. 10-9 Oklahoma. And there's an Oklahoma turnover. Out of bounds, Villanova ball. And a timeout. 14:27 to go in the first half. Now, when Oklahoma forces a lot of turnovers, their shooting percentage is pretty high. There's their season's average, but take a look at the 3 losses that they suffered to LSU, Kansas State, and Missouri. See how low the shooting percentage is? Well, right now they have put some pressure on Villanova, which is rare for the Wildcats.
And here's that good defensive pressure by this Sooner ball club right there. Blaylock picking it off, going in for the easy baskets. Now they have scored 6 points or 4 turnovers by Villanova already.
Lansky just gets it inbound in time, and it's still Villanova's ball, but they're shooting just under 50%.
But that just shows you that they need the turnovers to get their offense and create their offense. If you handle the basketball well, then you have an excellent chance against this Oklahoma team.
There's the pressure. First Seeger, then Blaylock. They're making Kenny Wilson work just to bring up the ball to full half court. And a careless turnover again. Villanova is not protecting the ball well, and that's because Oklahoma is all over them, in their shirts, it seems.
Gary Massey's fault. Kenny Wilson was looking to make the pass. He did not step forward towards the pass to meet it.
Rodney Taylor back in the lineup. He was out briefly when Massey went in. Massey's the defensive specialist, and he'll get a talking to from Massimino. Seeger goes for 3 and hits. He has been red hot. He hit 3 of 4 3-point shots against Louisville and 5 against Auburn in the previous game. They'll have to go out and extend defensively against him.
Maybe not right now. I think Rolly Massimino is going to let them shoot a few more to just prove it to them, because they're so concerned with the inside play of King and Grant.
You're right, because King and Grant have 9 of their 13 points so far.
Now, a big concern is that Kenny Smith's got to handle it too much.
And a foul inside. Foul is on Grace. That'll be his second personal, and Kenny Wilson will go to the line and into the ball game.
Now, Kenny Wilson's been having to handle this basketball for 25, 30 seconds of every time Villanova has possession of the basketball out of that 45-second clock, and that's just a little too much for him. Someone else is going to have to handle it.
You saw Gary Massey come in for Doug West. As Wilson misses the first free throw, that's rare. He is the leading free throw shooter for the Wildcats at 87%. So Villanova may be a little jittery at the early start here.
Little jittery because they've had to make an adjustment. They'd like to play a little quicker tempo than they're having to play here today, but that's the only way they're going to have a chance against the Sooners,
who lead by 3 with 13.5 remaining in the first half. Still no substitutions for Oklahoma. Gambling was Massey overplaying. Keep in mind, Grace has 2 personal fouls for Oklahoma. They're on the offensive end. Go inside to Grant over Taylor. Rebound by King, and that's where Oklahoma can really do some damage. Stacey King on the follow has 8 points to lead all scorers and will go to the line.
Now, good patience by Oklahoma to get the ball inside to Grant. Stacey King gets that good inside position before the shot even leaves Grant's hand, and now he has a chance for the three-point play.
Back in the ball game is Doug West. Tom Grice goes out. He has picked up his second personal foul. 2 on Grice. And Stacey King on the free throw line right here. Misses the ball, and it's taken in the corner. Quick to it was Blaylock. Inside to King again. And King scores. So Oklahoma is on a 15-3 run, and they've opened up a 7-point lead.
If this continues, it might force Rolly Massimino to make another adjustment. He might have to come out and play against this club. Right now, Oklahoma's in a 1-3-1 zone.
They get it inside to Massey. Massey from Plansky. And it's a 5-point Oklahoma lead. Wilson leads the Wildcats with 5, and Stacey King has 10 of Oklahoma's 17.
We're looking at a possible trap by Villanova.
Wilson on Grant, big mismatch. They're going to, and a turnover. Here's West, 2-on-1 with Plansky. And now it's a 3-point affair.
Again, they're showing that 1-3-1 trap. Looking to trap it in the corners.
Perimeter passing, perimeter shooting. Blaylock misses, and Rodney Taylor grabs the rebound for Villanova, and they can come within 1 or tie.
Surprising to see Oklahoma going to this 1-3-1 defense and not staying with their man-to-man.
But they're really making Villanova work for everything they get. Massey with a couple of fake scores, and it's 17-16 as Villanova has run off 6 in a row. Turnover again. Now Oklahoma is praying at the edges here in this first half, and Villanova looking to take a lead again.
Well, they just switched hats, these two teams. Oklahoma's now causing those turnovers.
Taylor gets another chance, loses it, and Plansky is there. Villanova has run off 8 straight. Blaylock back. Rebound by Taylor, and Oklahoma had to pace their way, and all of a sudden they look frustrated once again.
They do, and it's because Villanova, after their scoring, are getting back so well defensively, stopping the penetration of Oklahoma.
Doug West, basket good, and a foul. Straight points run off by Villanova after they trailed by 7. Tom Grice, who has 2 personals, will come back in the ball game, giving much needed size to Villanova, and Dave Seeger chalks up his first personal foul as Taylor goes out, and he's been quite active inside.
Quite active, and it's the thing about Grice is, though, the 2 games that we've seen now, when he's been sitting on the bench, Villanova has been able to go out and build up a nice lead.
11 straight. Doug West with a 3-point play, and Villanova has a 4-point lead. Their biggest lead early was 5. And Grace is fouled by West, his first foul and the 3rd team foul against the Wildcats. So both teams have 3 team fouls with 10:44 remaining in the first half. I would think Massimino enjoys this kind of a challenge against Billy Tubbs' run-and-gun great defensive teams.
It's one of the reasons you stay in this coaching business. It's so wacky because you love these type of challenges to see if you can get your kids to respond.
King misses inside, and a foul against Oklahoma. Dave Seeger, and he'll pick up his second.
What we're seeing is Rolly Massimino has been, as we said early, is throwing a lot of different looks at this Oklahoma team, and he's found one he likes right now, and that's the 1-3-1 trap that they've had success with, forcing bad shots and also turnovers.
Rodney Taylor is in, and Tom Grice goes out for Villanova. Good balance in the scoring department for Villanova, led by West with 6. Nearly halfway through in a 21-17 game, so this score definitely is Villanova's kind of game. West misses outside in the rebound by Blaylock.
Well, at this pace, it'd be a 68-point game for Oklahoma.
Inside, good entry pass from Blaylock, and Stacey King now has 12 points, but King has 12 of Oklahoma's 19. Here's the full court press. Tipped by Oklahoma, they get it back. Seeger made it happen. Baseline, offensive foul. Now they change it to a block against Doug West. The official first started to signal offensive foul.
Absolutely, there was some indecision by the official. I just wonder if he should have asked one of his other official mates out there to see what it was. But it was a good call.
Yes, it was.
It was a good call. West did not get there in time.
Rowley is starting to get disheveled, and Villanova very much in this game.
When you play a team like Oklahoma, you have to get back well defensively on misses, but on makes as much. And we'll see Villanova getting back defensively very well after the made field goal. And being able to create the turnover.
Grant. They surround him in a hurry, and Seeger misses a three. It's in the hands of King this time, and King will score. Well, Villanova did not limit Oklahoma to one shot that time. King with 14 points. It's a 21-21 game.
Oklahoma scored a third of their .7 on the offensive glass.
West. Taylor. Talk about offensive glass. There are the Wildcats, who are, by the way, shooting just about 70%. And Oklahoma is under 50%, and Villanova is out-rebounded the Sooners. Who expected this? Blaylock with a three. So Mookie Blaylock, who is at 74 three-point shots. All of a sudden, Oklahoma leads. Villanova's got it. Watch, they don't get into the pace game, and Kenny Wilson might have lost it a bit there.
There was indecision by Kenny Wilson that time. He was thought about going to the basket, then to recover and hold it. Turnover.
Grant, wide open. Villanova's zone didn't rotate well enough. And Oklahoma leads by 3. Their biggest lead was 7. Villanova led by 5. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half.
It's really something how quickly Oklahoma can score points. If you don't keep your eye on the scoreboard against this team, it's bang before they score 5, 8, 10 points in a row.
I was going to say, it's like a runaway express train. You wonder when the brakes go up, and all of a sudden you lose it before you know it.
Boy, that's so true, and you have to tip your hat to Tubbs, Billy Tubbs, with getting this team to play at this level of intensity.
Boy, Seeger is playing a terrific defensive first half and making the Wildcats work. Oklahoma's getting shots off in 7 seconds, and Villanova's taking on the average 10 more seconds to get their shots off. Taylor goes out of the game, and Grice back in. He's playing with 2 fouls.
Again, I think Rolly Massimino has to rotate his players because of fatigue that could set in with his ball club.
Wilson hits. By the way, Terrence Mullins, the only freshman on the squad for Oklahoma. A 6'2 guard from San Francisco is coming the ball game, so it's Blaylock and Mullins as Grace goes out. Grant hits again from the corner, and Oklahoma is on an 11-4 run. They were on a 15-3 spurt earlier to take their big lead.
That shows the versatility of Harvey Grant being able to go inside, go outside, and hit the jump shots.
Wilson is fouled and gets the basket and can tie it up for Villanova. I don't think that Kenny Wilson expected to be shooting as much and scoring as much. We knew he'd be handling it the way he has.
Kenny Wilson is really responding, and he's playing against an outstanding defensive player in Blaylock and hitting that field goal.
Blaylock's foul, his first, and the 15th foul against Oklahoma. So Kenny Wilson looking to go into double figures, the first Wildcat to do so if he can score. And coming in is Barry Beckadam, a 6'10 sophomore from Prescott, Canada, replacing Grice. Beckadam did not play against Kentucky on Thursday night.
He's a sophomore that Rolly Massimino will look to contribute. He's got to contribute on the defensive boards and the offensive boards.
Tied at 28, Duke beat Temple by 10, knocking out another #1 seed. Purdue was knocked out by Kansas State in the Midwest last night. Blaylock misses a 3. And Plansky controls with 7.5 remaining in the first half of a tie game. And a foul away from the ball, and it'll be against Gary Massey. That'll be team foul number 5 against Villanova. And Rolly Massimino holding the defense.
Again, we see Villanova showing a different look defensively, going to their matchup zone defense.
Massey's their best defensive player. Seeger, Grant tries to keep it alive and does. Inside Seeger and a foul. Oklahoma making some crisp entry passes inside, and they'll go to the line to shoot a pair here.
This is a very unselfish basketball team, Oklahoma. You would think with the tempo and the pace at times they might not be and take bad shots, but again we see their unselfishness finding the open man.
Taylor back in, and Beckadam goes out with his first foul, and Dave Seeger is on the line. According to Rolly, he says that Seeger reminds him a lot of Riesbeck of Temple with his style. He's like a forward playing guard, three-point shooter, misses a free throw there.
He's also the player that has the best endurance on this ball club, Billy Tubbs said. And he also thinks that he's the glue to this Oklahoma team.
He misses both. Score is still tied. Doug West with the rebound. Already this game is a lot different than what the experts figured.
Experts felt that Oklahoma would just blow Villanova out of this building, but this is a good basketball team, Villanova. To get this far in the tournament, it's just not a fluke. You have to have some talent and good coaching.
Mark Lansky said, I would have hesitated if you say we get to a chance to get to the Final Four earlier in the year. Wilson goes for three, and the rebound by Stacey King.
Well, how about Oklahoma? They felt they were in a rebuilding year this year.
They lost a few, and here they are. Open is Terrence Mullins, now inside the three-point line, is short. Taylor the rebound with 6:18 to go.
So far in this ball game, the only area that Oklahoma has hurt Villanova is on the inside and on the offensive glass.
Mullins is on Plansky. Lansky has scored 4 points. Wilson leads with 10. You're watching the 45-second clock and how much time the Wildcats are using. Plansky for three, top of the key. Grant the rebound. .540 remaining, 28-28 to score, and King takes too many steps and turns it over to Villanova. Back in the ball game is Ricky Grace for the Sooners, and Dave Seeger gets his first rest. And Anthony Martin, a 6'7" sophomore from Los Angeles, comes in. There's Grace. Martin will come in. He's a good shooter and did not play against Louisville Thursday.
Well, I think King is out of the ball game, number one, because Billy Tubbs has to be a little upset with how he was a little unselfish that time down the court. Got the pass and was looking to make too quick a move. He wants a little more patience offensively.
So Martin, number 50, and King goes out. He is the leading scorer with 14 points. Out to Wilson, winding down to 5 minutes remaining in the first half. 28-28 to score.
Oklahoma has showed good patience defensively, knowing that Villanova is going to use so much of the clock.
Lansky misses a three, long rebound, and West has a new clock for Villanova. Normally, we make these comments with 2 minutes or 3 minutes to go in the game, but not in this one.
You know that this is a killer for a ball club like Oklahoma. They allow Villanova to use 37 seconds on the clock. They'll use up over a minute before they get a chance to get possession of the basketball again.
And inside, Gary Massey. Good penetration by Wilson, and Massey scores, so they made it work. I'll tell you, Massimino would like to bottle that sequence, wouldn't he, the rest of the game?
And the play of Kenny Wilson, Dick, has just been outstanding. He's been scoring, finding open men.
Terrence Mullins misses a three, and a foul called against Anthony Martin. And that is the 16th foul against the Sooners.
Now here's Kenny Wilson beating Blaylock, finding the open man for the easy dunk.
Timeout. Villanova leads. Tight, taut game. Second-seeded Duke defeated Temple. They're going to Kansas City and will play the winner of Kansas State and Kansas. A Big 8 matchup coming up tomorrow on CBS, and you'll see the Midwest Regional Final from Pontiac, Michigan, and in the West Region in Seattle, it'll be Arizona, the #1 seed out there, against Dean Smith, North Carolina Tar Heels. So a big day of NCAA basketball action coming up tomorrow as well. Dick Stockton and Billy Cunningham were in the first half. Villanova with a lead of 30-28 over Oklahoma. It's a throwback style of the Wildcats against maybe the style of the future, the Sooners. And right now, the throwbacks are winning. You can see the 45-second clock atop the basket. That's what the players look at.
Surprising, Oklahoma's in his zone.
Wilson hits a three-point shot. Why is that surprising?
Surprising because that's taking away their aggressiveness defensively. I guess Billy Tubbs feels that, hey, it's not working, this defensive pressure. Maybe we have to reserve some of that energy that we're extending out there for that 35 to 40 seconds.
Speaking of defensive pressure, Oklahoma has managed only one basket in the last 5 minutes before Dave Seeger hit his second three-point shot to cut the lead to 2. Well, Wilson is playing a game and a half already with the work he has to do.
So far, he's carried this Villanova ball club, handling the pressure, making the right decisions to shoot it, find the open man.
Notice Oklahoma 3 for 9 in three-pointers. They blistered the nets against Louisville the other night.
Showing a 2-3, 2-1-2 defense.
Wilson misses a 3. Taylor tried to get it, but it's Grant's ball, and a chance again for Oklahoma to tie the game. Grace for 3. Taylor the rebound. It's been a game of spurts. Oklahoma had a 15-3 run early, and Villanova ran off 11 in a row. Sooners came back 11-3 edge, and now they've settled in here.
Settled into a Villanova tempo. Now, that's the thing that surprises me. I thought Billy Tubbs would come out and be a little more aggressive defensively.
The jumper by Doug West. West, the leading scorer on the team, has 8. Wilson leads today, however, with 13. And another turnover. Here's West. And he's fouled. The basket's good. Billy Tubbs knows he's in a game today.
In a game. Absolutely, and what this does is the confidence that this Villanova team is now gaining, that, hey, we can beat this team. Now, that's just poor ball handling by Oklahoma, and what a dunk by West, having to put his hand underneath Martin and still able to put it through the basket.
Anthony Martin picked up his second personal foul. Villanova now in the bonus. There's Barry Beckadam, who will come in a moment, and Doug West on the line to try to complete a three-point play. The similarities between 1985 and Villanova's Cinderella run to a national title and this year are ironic and striking. It's a 38-31 lead, the biggest of the ball game for Villanova. They were tied for 3rd in the Big East 3 years ago. They played the first 2 sites in Ohio. They played the Southeast Regional here in Birmingham, and then went on to the Final Four, and all that pattern continues. Grant from the corner is short, but there's King. Plansky, the rebound. Under 2 minutes remaining, 1:53.
Before the game, Rolly Massimino put that number up on the blackboard that he'd like his team to go for it defensively, to hold the team to, and that was 75, and here they've only given up 31 points with 1:35 left in this first half.
Wilson for 3, and a foul over the top was Beckadam, and they'll be shooting now. That is the 7th-team foul, and Grant will go to the line.
Now, when you're playing good defense, the next thing you have to do is do the job on the defensive boards. Villanova doesn't do it there, but Plansky gets the defensive rebound.
The rebounding story, Villanova has the edge there, but that's not a surprise because Oklahoma was held even on the boards by Louisville and were out-rebounded in their 20-point win over Auburn, 57-39. So that's not a gauge to decide how the Sooners are doing.
A gauge is fast break opportunities and turnovers with this Oklahoma team.
And free throws missed. Grant missed a chance there. 1:18 to go and running. Villanova's turned it over 8 times. Turned it over only 7 against Kentucky. But most of the turnovers were in the first 5 minutes of this game.
And they've settled in. They might have been a little nervous, a little patient. Now they're playing poised. They believe now going into this locker room, they can beat this Oklahoma team, and Billy Tubbs has got to make an adjustment of some kind to get his Sooners ready for the second half.
And that's not out of the realm of possibility.
He did that against Louisville.
Massey short in the lane, threw up an air ball, and there's the lead pass to Blaylock, and it's turned over. So the Sooners, and only they could tell you how impatient they are because of the pace of Villanova. Only Seeger could tell you why that ball was thrown away.
This is something new for Oklahoma. Seeing a team use as much of the clock, they have to maintain their concentration defensively and offensively have patience.
Villanova can play for the last shot. The 45-second clock is off. A stunning first half thus far. Time remaining in the first half. Lansky for 3. Grace with 6 seconds to go, and the Sooners will try to cut it to 5 or better. Blaylock doesn't go, but Villanova has sent a message. That's the end of the first half with the score. Villanova 38, Oklahoma 31. And CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Express Mail Overnight Service. Allstate, leave it to the good hands people to insure your home, your car, or your family. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by Pontiac Grand Am, a true driver's coupe built with a feel for the road.
For the Sooners, 13-3 to end the first half with a 7-point lead in Birmingham, Southeast Regional Final. All right, welcome back to New York. Jim Nance and James Brown. We've already seen one top seed go down to defeat today. That's Temple, and Oklahoma, the top seed, trailing here. The Magic Man up to it once again. Villanova dictating the tempo here, and he's really crossing up Oklahoma with that changing defense every time down court just about.
And those guys are very patient, Villanova, on the offensive end. I think the key man right now is Kenny Wilson, the way he's handling that pressure, and he can score offensively.
All right, James. You know, in 1939, the NCAA held its first postseason championship basketball tournament in Kansas City.
Sports coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Express Mail Overnight Service. Allstate, leave it to the good hands people to insure your home, your car, or your family. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by Pontiac Grand Am, a true driver's coupe built with a feel for the road.
A shocking game. Villanova leading Oklahoma 38-31 at the half. It's the largest halftime deficit that the Sooners have faced all season. In a year, they're 33-3. Before the game, Billy, everyone says, how can Villanova win? Now I have to ask you, how can Oklahoma come back?
I think Billy Tubbs has got to find a way to get some zip, some spark back into this ball club. They look flat. They're not used to playing 30 seconds of defense. They're used to 15 seconds, turnovers, getting out and running. It's an entirely different game, and he's got to start doing something, picking up full court defensive pressure, something to get some zip.
What kind of game has it been? Let's take a look at some of the statistics. Easy for me to say. Villanova 57% and Oklahoma only 42%. That's telling. How about this? The average time of possession, Oklahoma gets it up much quicker than Villanova. However, Oklahoma has only 3 more shots. Now, what we talked about earlier, when they force turnovers, they shoot well. They have forced 8 turnovers, have shot only 42%. See, the 3 losses, they didn't force many, and they didn't shoot well.
Didn't shoot well is exactly right. And the only place they really hurt this Villanova ball club was on the offensive glass, and some sparks here and there by King and Grant on the inside.
So we start the second half. Villanova finished that half with a 13-3 run. It was a half of spurts, and Blaylock commits the foul. Speaking of the guards, Ricky Grace and Mookie Blaylock, the outstanding guard tandem, have averaged over 31 points per game combined. But as far as the guards are concerned, in the first half, Villanova's tandem in the back line have outscored Oklahoma 24-5.
And that's the reason with the turnovers. They're the ones usually creating the turnovers and getting the layups.
Oklahoma has not lost when they have shot 50% or more, and they're well below it right now. Doug West finds an opening and a blocking foul. And that'll be against Harvey Grant, and that will be his first personal foul. He just got there a little too late, although I think he anticipated West's move.
He did. He had so much pressure on him because now Seeger's beat. He's got his man right behind him there, Taylor. Does he come over to help, or does he stay home and make sure he doesn't make that pass to Taylor?
Quickly, the Sooners have 2 team fouls. Oklahoma's margin of victories were 28, 20, and 10 in their 3 tournament victories thus far. Plansky has a height advantage over Grace of 6 inches.
But he doesn't have the quickness advantage, and especially handling the ball, that's a real problem.
Wilson lost his dribble momentarily and got too far under the basket. Didn't handle that well, and here comes Oklahoma 3-on-1. Seeger goes for 3. And Villanova has it. This is the style of the Wildcats that got him a 7-point lead. Rolly Massimino said 75 points. That's what we want to limit Oklahoma to. They're ahead of their...
Right now, they're way ahead of that with 60-31 they've given up.
Wilson again misses. Wilson has had 2 inside layups. He hasn't connected. Grace to King, and they'll call that blocking foul against Doug West. So Doug West picking up his 3rd personal foul, and that's a problem for Rolly Massimino. West is the leading scorer on the year for Villanova.
Well, what Kenny West is going to have to do when he goes to the basket, Wilson, he's got to pull up in the lane and shoot the short jump shot, not take it all the way to the basket and challenge the big people of Oklahoma.
We have not had any scoring yet. Nearly a minute and a half gone by in the second half. King. And West saves it, and he goes hard into the press table. Mookie Blaylock hits a 3, and it's a 38-34 game, full court pressure. Blaylock has hit 2 3-point baskets.
Got to watch the 5-second call for Plansky because if he doesn't have the quickness of Blaylock.
Taylor, number 35. Plansky's 31. West, 42. Wilson is 3. Grice, 33. West with the layup. He has 13. Wilson and West lead Villanova. And coming in is Seeger. Dave Seeger with the basket. King leads Oklahoma with 14. He's the only one in double figures right now.
And whatever Billy Tubbs said to his team, they've come out with a spark. They have that zip that they did not have the last 10 minutes of the first half.
Villanova has played this game with 7 players. Massey and Beckendam off the bench. Beckendam only briefly.
Villanova is just spreading the court, going to a 1-4 set, looking for the easy opportunities.
Grice, baseline. Tom Grice, much maligned a year ago, now has 4 points. The 7'2" sophomore keeps Villanova up by 6. And King's follow is good, and it's a 4-point game again. 16 points for Stacey King, who has been red hot, averaging 31 in his last 5 games.
Well, the last 2 times that Villanova has scored, we've seen Oklahoma come back and score right away.
Possession arrow favors Oklahoma, so the Sooners will have a chance to narrow the lead again.
Now here's the hustle of Harvey Grant defensively, a big man out on the court putting the pressure on Taylor and causing that turnover.
Blaylock and Grace, the backcourt for Oklahoma. Grant, Seeger, and King up front. Sooners have won 19 of 20 and 7 straight. King has it blocked by Grice into the hands of Taylor. Good block by Tom Grice.
They doubled down on King when he got the ball in the low post.
Villanova 42, Oklahoma 38. A low-scoring affair, but Oklahoma, they have had a burst twice already in this game. They're capable at any time.
Thing they're doing a better job of is after Villanova's scoring, pushing the ball down the court and getting that tempo that they like.
Bryce inside and gets it over Stacey King.
Well, Bryce has not missed the shot here in Birmingham. He's now 8 for 8.
3 for 3 this game, 5 for 5 in the semifinal against Kentucky. Blaylock missed, Bryce the rebound. 6-point lead for Villanova, and they can open up their biggest of the game. And Kenny Wilson might have had a problem with his contact lens.
And there's the double team, Bryce blocking King's shot. Now in the offensive end of the court, look at the big guy put the ball on the floor, pull up and shoot the short jump shot.
Kenny Wilson is going to the bench. Had a problem with his contact lens. And he's over there near the Villanova trainer. Oklahoma is only 4 for 14 from three-point range. A far cry from what they did against Louisville Thursday. Well, tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we hope you'll join us for this weekend's men's and ladies programs at the World Figure Skating Championships. And some of the performers you'll see include Olympic gold medalist Katarina Witt and bronze medalist and former world champion Debbie Thomas. Also, Olympic gold medalist Brian Boitano and former world champion Brian Orser. The World Figure Skating Championships tonight at 8 Eastern on CBS Sports. That's a beautiful event.
Pat O'Brien's over there, isn't he?
That's what I understand. Budapest, Hungary. Villanova with a big edge in backcourt scoring as they continue to work on Kenny Wilson's eye.
Well, that was their game plan to start with. They were most concerned with the inside play of King and Grant, and they were going to look to help out down there and force the perimeter shot. And the Oklahoma guards have not responded.
You know, we talked at the outset about the conditioning, and of course Villanova has to, one of the reasons they have to slow the ball, as you said, and control the tempo is because they don't have a lot of people off the bench. Oklahoma, in their preseason conditioning this year, used aerobics for the first time, and Billy Tubbs said that was the toughest thing they'd ever done.
And Billy Tubbs said the only reason he went to it is he only picks up things from teams that have won national championships, and the Oklahoma Sooner football team did it last year, so he decided, I'm going to do it too.
I don't blame him. 15:40 remaining, second half. 6-point lead, Villanova 44-38. Gary Massey in there. Doug West is on the bench.
We see Oklahoma in a 1-2-2 zone defense, looking to trap a little bit if they can.
Plansky in the lane, perfect. Mark Plansky has 6 points, and Villanova has its biggest lead of the game. In fact, the biggest lead for either side. But that's cut down as Stacey King now with 18. He's been a one-man gang offensively for Oklahoma.
Just carrying them, either getting it the points off the offensive glass or at the post-up spot.
Wilson is in trouble. And Villanova maintains possession. But great hustle by Oklahoma, particularly Dave Seeger. Billy Tubbs doesn't understand the call, but it'll be Villanova's ball when we get back to Birmingham. And we're back in Birmingham. Has come back in the game for Villanova, so Rowley is using him with 3 personal fouls.
There's no tomorrow. He's got to use his star player out there.
Plansky working against Blaylock. Villanova by 6. They led by 7 at the half, and West turns it over to Seeger. Question is, how does Oklahoma shoot off of those turnovers? So far, they haven't shot all that well. Grant. Rebound, Bryce. And then Oklahoma knows every time Villanova gets that rebound after that one shot, they're going to have to play long-term half-court defense.
And must maintain their concentration. They're a team that's not used to playing for 25 seconds at the defensive end of the court.
A little over 14 minutes remaining, second half. Oklahoma led by 7 early in the first half. Villanova moments ago had their biggest lead of 8. West connects, and it's an 8-point lead again. West, the leading scorer for Villanova at 15. No smiles either coach's face, certainly not Billy Tubbs. King trying to post up against Grice. He does. And he scores. Stacey King with 20.
And without him, this game would be over.
You're right. Wilson gets out of the crowd. This is a well-orchestrated game as you look at the guard shooting. Oklahoma's Blaylock and Grace struggling. Not so for the Villanova people.
No, the Oklahoma guards are 3 for 12 from the field.
And a 5-second violation. How come Villanova's guilty of so many fives there, Bill?
Well, because of the defensive pressure being applied by Oklahoma, they have been able to maintain that concentration for at least 20 seconds. Their problem is when it gets to the 25 and 26 seconds. Last time, West had an open jumper.
Let's see if the Sooners can be patient offensively with this chance. Blaylock gets in a pretty play by Mookie Blaylock. He scores. Ricky Grace has yet to score. Protecting it is Massey. Great pressure by Oklahoma, and Blaylock is called for the blocking foul, and that'll be number 3 on Mookie Blaylock.
Now here's the defensive pressure you face when you play against Oklahoma in the backcourt. Harvey Grant and Blaylock coming out. Blaylock not getting over in time to draw the charge.
2 players with 3 fouls in this game, Blaylock of Oklahoma and West of Villanova. Just under 13 minutes remaining in the second half.
You know, this Oklahoma team, fatigue has never been a problem for this club. But I wonder as this game wears on, does fatigue become a problem for them, having to extend so much energy defensively?
And not on the pressure either, defensively on the half court. There's the 45-second clock, down to 16. Rice. He finally misses a shot, but not by much, and here comes Oklahoma to try to cut it to 2 or better. Blaylock inside, blocked by West, and a foul is called against Villanova, and that'll be number 4 on Doug West, and Villanova is in trouble here.
Well, I have to question that call. The reason I do is the official made the call from half court. There was another official standing right by the play, as you can see in your picture there on the left. The official comes all the way out there from half court making that call.
Doug West on the bench with 4 personal fouls. He is their leading scorer on the season and in the game with 15 points, and Blaylock will shoot a pair. Blaylock is a 69% free throw shooter this year. He connects there. So it's Blaylock, Ricky Grace, who has yet to score today, Seeger, Grant, and King. As Tubbs not going to his bench. Massimino now talking things over with his assistants has a problem. He's got Wilson, Massey, Taylor, Plansky, and Grice. And now it's a 2-point Villanova lead. Wilson gets it across. I'm impressed with the Sooners defense.
To maintain this intensity and knowing in most cases they're not getting the turnovers, what they're doing is getting the missed shots.
And they're extending it to make it tougher to get the ball inside and to get an outside shot.
Again, I think Billy Tubbs' preparation at halftime for the second half has been outstanding because they were flat. They didn't have that intensity. Matter of fact, they played a zone, packing it in the lane.
Chance to tie it up for Oklahoma, or better. 3 points would be better for them. Ricky Grace, his first basket of the ball game, and ties it up at 48. Oklahoma has scored 8 in a row, and Wilson is in trouble. Taylor now. 11 and a half remaining. Trapped is Taylor. And they got a lot of time, 25 left on the shot clock. Villanova's turned it over 4 times, and it's come back to haunt him so far this half. Wilson. Plansky. But Oklahoma's King winds up with it. Still Sooners ball.
And now Oklahoma has a chance to take their lead. It's been a long time since they've had the lead.
And a 3 for Seeger. Grant keeps it alive. Grace goes for 3 and hits it. Oklahoma will keep firing it up. and it's a three-point lead for Oklahoma.
Well, they just keep playing hard the whole 40 minutes of the game with this intensity.
And they'll call the foul on Seeger. The last time Oklahoma had a lead was with 8:27 remaining in the first half, 28-27. Dave Seeger, meanwhile, has picked up his third personal foul, and Doug West comes back in the game. So West, despite the fact he has 4 fouls, is brought back in by Rollie Massimino.
Big decision by Rollie Massimino, because he knows if this West fouls out, he's losing his top scorer, his biggest offensive threat.
So does that mean he's going for it here?
He just feels at this point he's got to turn things around, because right now Oklahoma is their tempo.
He can't afford, I guess, or is concerned about Oklahoma opening up a 7 or 8 point lead themselves.
There's no tomorrow.
Blaylock steals the pass by West and is fouled by Kenny Wilson. Third team foul against Villanova. And Villanova wants a timeout. Oklahoma has scored 11 in a row. Winner here today in the Southeast will face the survivor of the great North Carolina-Arizona matchup tomorrow in Seattle when they go to the Final Four in Kansas City. And on tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, the road to the Final Four continues with the Midwest Regional Final, Kansas against Kansas State. Danny Manning against the upstart Kansas State Wildcats, followed by Arizona and North Carolina. And we'll learn the identities of the Final Four teams. Temple beaten by Duke. Rice misses after Grant got in, and Oklahoma loses it out of bounds to Villanova. But they are scrappy, and you said it best, I think. He had to come up with something, Billy Tubbs, and they have been more aggressive, and they have forced the play.
They have more zip. Their legs are alive. They're active. Their hands are moving.
There's another example, even though Villanova still has it.
When you make a couple of steals, force a few turnovers, it becomes contagious with your ball club. Everybody else picks it up another notch. They become more aggressive.
Doug West playing with 4 personal fouls, the leading scorer for the Wildcats. Seeger will pick up his 4th personal foul. Seeger fouling Kenny Wilson. That is the 15th foul against Oklahoma. Keep in mind, Seeger, a great outside three-point shooter and the best man-to-man defender on the Oklahoma team.
And that was not a smart foul by Dave Seeger.
10 minutes remaining in the second half. 51-48 Oklahoma. They've come back from an 8-point deficit here in the second half. On the shot clock. Tough pass for Plansky. He tried to get it to Grice. Oklahoma anticipated. Another turnover, another chance.
Good job by Villanova getting back defensively after the turnover.
Blaylock fakes Plansky. Loose ball, and here comes Villanova. By 3. The Wildcats have turned it over 6 times this half to none for Oklahoma.
And they only turned it over 8 times in the first half.
There's that pressure you were talking about. It's like a different Oklahoma team in the second half.
Now the thing, does Rollie Massimino make another adjustment offensively? If they don't score this time down, maybe they go to something a little quicker tempo-wise.
Villanova's gone 5 minutes without scoring. Plansky misses. The rebound by King. Seeger lost it inside, and Wilson, Oklahoma is back defensively. Wilson goes for the 3 and misses. Taylor, the rebound. Rice follows.
Well, that wasn't the shot that Rollie Massimino wants, but he'll take the results.
You will. He got 2 offensive rebounds, and Rice connected. He has 8 points. I was surprised Wilson went up quickly with the 3.
Yeah, Rollie Massimino just wants the shot if it's an open one.
Harvey Grant. He can post up, he can pull up. Harvey Grant averaged over 21 a game. He's got 8 in this one. West leads with 15 and Wilson has 13. Under 8 minutes remaining in the second half. Oklahoma still has that 3-point lead. They had their biggest halftime deficit of the season today, 7 points before they came back.
Watching this Oklahoma team, it's very difficult to believe that Billy Tubbs felt coming into this year was a rebuilding year. Losing David Johnson, Tim McAllister, Kennedy, and Watson.
Rice with a fake and lost it off his foot. Grace and King 2-on-1. King. 22 for King, and Oklahoma has a 5-point lead.
And now we're seeing the Oklahoma ball club that we got a chance to see against Louisville. That intensity defensively, turnovers and layups at the other end.
A big sequence coming up for Villanova if they want to avoid getting blown out. Plansky misses. Rebound misses King. Oklahoma on a 15-2 run. Taylor is down. Blaylock missed inside. Taylor is still at the other end, and a time is called as Rodney Taylor is still hurting. He is in pain.
Now here's how Taylor gets hurt. The shot by Plansky, he loses his feet. He hits the back of his head on the floor and his lower back as well.
He suffered a sprained ankle in practice Tuesday before Villanova played its semifinal game Thursday against Kentucky. And he is hurting, and he had to land on that back part, the lower back. So we stopped festivities as Rolly Massimino goes over to check on the sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina. 6:51 remaining in the second half. Oklahoma leads by 55-50. Taylor gingerly goes back to the huddle. The defense of Oklahoma has forced 7 turnovers already. That's almost as many as Villanova turned over in the first half. They protected the ball well themselves.
But this half, we're seeing Villanova has not gotten back defensively as well after they've committed the turnovers.
They lose Taylor momentarily at least. He's been an effective rebounder with 11 today. So it's Massey, Plansky, West, Grice, and Wilson. Oklahoma by 5, 6:40 remaining in the second half. Plansky has it knocked away and a foul on Ricky Grace. That is the 6th team foul on Oklahoma. The next one will put Villanova into the bonus, and Grace has picked up his 3rd. So Grace and Blaylock, the starting guards, each have 3.
Rolly Massimino's magical number defensively was 75. They'll still do that, but we're seeing this defense by Oklahoma showing that they have the ability. Hey, we can play any kind of game you want to play. We'll do it defensively.
West, tough baseline shot. He was defended well, and Doug West now with 17 points. He's hit his last 5.
At last time down, Rolly Massimino did not go to that 1-4 set. They looked immediately to get into something at the offensive end.
Terrence Mullins in the game at guard. He has the ball now, the only freshman. Plays a lot bigger than 6'2", and an offensive foul. Stacey King, only his first foul, but it's the 7th, and now they're pointing the other way. Did he reverse the call?
No, 2 officials had different views of it. One thought it was a charge, one thought it was a grab foul on Wilson. The grab foul stands up.
Second on Wilson. That would have been the 7th foul and a shooting situation for Villanova 1-1, but it isn't. And King is on the line. 68% from the line this year. Right now, Oklahoma going with 3 guards with Mullins, Grace, and Blaylock.
That's a good call by the official. Wilson did reach in and grab.
King missed them both. Plansky the rebound. So the Sooners playing with 3 guards right now. But Villanova has the ball trailing by 3 with 6 minutes remaining.
Going into their set offense immediately, not using the 45-second clock.
And another 5-second violation. That's about the 4th or 5th one of those called against Villanova today. Yesterday, Billy Tuck says Roley needs a comb over there, and I wouldn't disagree with that right now.
No question about that.
They get it inside to Grant. King and Blaylock, Grant and King, but particularly King with great penetration offensively inside.
After that sequence, has fatigue become a factor for the Villanova Wildcats?
Meanwhile, Villanova will be in the bonus as an Oklahoma foul has been called on Ricky Grace, his fourth.
We see the Oklahoma team getting up on the glass. King getting several chances, and there's Blaylock for the easy two.
The story here in the Southeast Regional Final. Villanova has turned it over 8 times in the second half. They led by 7 at halftime. These are the high scores, but West is playing for Villanova with 4 personal fouls. Dick Stockton and Bill Cunningham, the winner, will move on to Kansas City in the Final Four next weekend. Villanova trying to repeat their miracle run of '85 when they defeated North Carolina here in Birmingham to get to the Final Four, and ultimately the big stunner over Georgetown for the title. But they're a long way from that right at this point.
We got a lot of basketball left in this game. Anything could happen now with only 5:28 left in the half. In the game.
Wilson, the best free throw shooter for Villanova, makes them, and it's a 57-54 game. Grace is playing with 4 personal fouls for Oklahoma. West 4 for Villanova. He couldn't go after Mullins. Grace goes for 3. West. Sooners have lost only 3 games this year. To LSU, Kansas State, and Missouri. Kansas State still alive in the tournament. West, tough shot West, and a foul inside. Mullins was all over him, but Harvey Grant committed the foul inside, and it'll be 1-1, I believe. 1-1 for Villanova. Grant's foul is second. Gary Massey will shoot the 1-1, and Massey has not been a good free throw shooter this year, and Rodney Taylor, who was shaken up before, is back in the lineup for the Wildcats.
Only shooting 62% from the foul line.
Misses it, and here comes Terrence Mullins. King, and Oklahoma running the floor. Stacey King with 24, and the Wildcats trail the Sooners by 5.
You don't see many teams where all 5 starters have that ability to get out and run. And that's what you have with this Oklahoma team.
In the second round, Villanova trailed Illinois by 10 points with 3 minutes to go and came back and won. They're hoping they don't face that kind of a deficit this time. Their season is on the line. Plansky knocked away by Blaylock. And it's still Villanova ball, but Blaylock with quick hands and a timeout. 4:08 remain in the second half. CBS. Villanova trailing, and Mark Plansky has only 3 of 8 from the field, but he's capable of some late game heroics. See if Villanova goes to him here with 4 minutes to go, trailing Oklahoma by 5. The Sooners, the #1 seed, trying to advance to Kansas City.
See Villanova just spreading the court, trying to use some of that 45-second clock.
West. Foul inside. He'll go to the line to shoot. It'll be a 2-shot foul. Stacey King with his first personal foul, and Doug West is on the line. He has been a 72% free throw shooter this year.
Now does Rolly Massimino come out and trap at half court, maybe put a little full court pressure on? We haven't seen them do it against the Sooners.
Of course, if you miss, you're in trouble. He can burn you at the other end in a hurry. We saw a couple of glimpses of that already with King filling the lane. Blaylock, Grace, and Mullins three guards along with Grant and King inside for the Sooners. Half-court offense. King gets inside and a foul. Rice and Taylor defended. It is the 5th team foul against Villanova. And Tom Grice has picked up his 3rd foul, so he had foul trouble early. That's his 3rd.
Well, Tom Grice has a real problem playing against Stacey King because of his quickness.
King, a 68% shooter, has 24 points and 11 rebounds today.
He was the man earlier when they were struggling, keeping him in this ball game. If he wasn't around, this game could be quite different at this point.
He's had a big turnaround season, King, and he said the turning point was in the game against LSU when Jose Vargas had a career game against him. He says, I let the team down and I decided to go to work from there, and has he ever. 3:32 remaining. It's a 61-55 game. Villanova trails by 6. Oklahoma trailed by 8 in the second half. There's the story. Quickly. Lansky for 3. And the Sooners have the ball and the lead.
Now at this time of the game, the Sooners will start using a little bit of clock, having a little more patience.
Grant fires it up and is fouled by Rodney Taylor.
Not much of the clock, though.
Villanova is going to have to force the foul, I would think, and hope that Oklahoma misses the free throws, because they're going to get the ball inside of their big people, and they've been doing some damage. King has 26, Grant has 8, but he's been good on second shots today.
Well, I don't know if they have to just go foul, but I would expect them to look to do some trapping, be a little bit more aggressive out here on the defensive end of the court. But they have to score as well, and they have not had good success in this second half shooting the basketball.
Gary Massey with instructions from Massimino. Oklahoma 50% from the line in this game. But Grant hits 2 big ones. And Seeger will check back in for Oklahoma. Massimino is checking to see who's in there. Mullins goes out. He's played a fine game, just a freshman. Mullins hasn't scored, but he's handled the ball a lot and has been active.
Whole key so far in this ball game is the way this Oklahoma team came out of the locker room defensively.
Lansky misses. And the rebound by Oklahoma with under 3 minutes to go. They're leading by 8. That's their biggest lead of the game. Villanova also had an 8-point lead earlier. King. Blaylock, who's the 3rd top offensive rebounder at 6 feet high, goes high to snare one.
Well, the conditioning of this Sooner team is showing right now. They're quicker to the basketball. They're more aggressive. They wear you down.
That's what they've done in the second half to Villanova after the Wildcats took a 48-40 lead. That big 11-0 run was key. And Wilson fouls Grant. That's the 7th team foul, and that'll be 1-1 coming up, and Grant will go to the line.
Now, coming into the middle of your screen, after the shot goes up, you'll see Blaylock just jump right up there, skying and getting that rebound.
3rd best offensive rebound. Anxious Villanova fans and cheerleaders, not to mention their squad, and Grant makes the first free throw. Down to the nitty-gritty if Villanova is going to try to keep that mystery or the miracle going.
This has been some turnaround in this second half.
Grant 4 for 5 from the line, and a 10-point lead for Oklahoma. Villanova has not scored a basket in the last 4.5 minutes of this game. West. Race the rebound. Villanova, 1 shot and out, and Oklahoma may use a little of the clock.
Now they're not having that patience at the offensive end of the court, Villanova. And it's a tough time trying to press this Oklahoma team because they're so quick.
Wilson fouls Grace, who will shoot 1 and 1. It was 48-40 early in the second half, and then Oklahoma went on 11-0 run with 10:26 remaining, and that has been the key of all of the spurts we've had in this game, and Oklahoma has protected the lead. They've doubled Villanova's scoring here in this half.
That's outstanding defense, holding a team like Villanova to 17 points and a half.
Grace hits the free throw. Ironically, Billy, looks like Villanova's going to hold Oklahoma to 75 points or under in this game.
But you tip your hat to this Oklahoma ball club, just showing that whatever kind of game you're going to play, we're going to show the patience, the concentration that they've shown in the second half at the defensive end of the court.
The lead is 12, and time running out for Villanova. They're going to have to work quickly now. Wilson, way off on the threes. Rebound, Grant. And a foul by Mark Plansky, and it's desperation time for the Wildcats. The Sooners are a minute and 35 seconds away from their third trip to the Final Four.
And we'll see two Big 8 teams in that Final Four, with Kansas and Kansas State matching up against each other.
Big year for that conference. And Rollie Massimino has conceded. So the Villanova Wildcats, who were picked no higher than 6th in the Big East, and came in as a number 6 seed and upset Kentucky, have run out of gas against a team that a lot of people think maybe the most explosive and dangerous in that Final Four. They will join the Oklahoma Sooners, the Duke Blue Devils of the ACC.
All players on the court right now for Villanova are walk-ons.
Pat Enright, senior from Richfield, Connecticut, who was cut twice by Villanova after being cut by Merrimack in Division II. Greg Downs, a 5'8" sophomore from Forestville, Maryland. Ron Trevani, a guard, a sophomore from Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Tim Muller, a freshman from Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, is in the ball game. And a timeout.
No technical foul on Rollie Massimino.
Chris Mazzotti, a 5'11" freshman from Hermitage, PA. Want to give credit to these kids who are in an NCAA tournament game, and I'm sure their families would like to have their name mentioned.
Absolutely. You know, that's why Rollie Massimino has put them in the ball game, because he appreciates what they've done for the Villanova program.
Ricky Grace misses the first of the technical. How about the guys who have gone out for Villanova? Lansky.
They have done an outstanding job. You know, everyone before the season felt that this Villanova team would finish in the bottom half of the Big East. Well, they're the only team that was playing today in the Big East.
Great career for Mark Plansky, who was part of the '85 championship entry. He was just a bit player as a freshman. But Oklahoma looks awfully strong. King edges his way in. 28 points for Stacey King. This is a legitimate team for the national championship because they beat Villanova at their own pace.
They've shown the ability to overcome adversity, which they saw in the first half.
You wondered what they would come out with? They came out with intensity, and they forced the action. And Oklahoma has held Villanova to no baskets in the last 5.5 minutes of this game. That speaks volumes. Going to their bench. Andre Wiley is in. Art Pollard. Mullins, who played earlier. Tyrone Jones and Anthony Martin. And a foul against Enright. So the first time in 41 years, Oklahoma will go to the Final Four. They lost to Holy Cross, sparked by Ken Pryor and Gerald Tucker. Back in 1947, Holy Cross had a fellow named Cousy on the bench that year.
What was his first name?
Robert.
Robert Coos.
I don't think he could dance like these guys could, though.
Well, they should be dancing. They've just showed me so much, and I'm sure everybody around the country, what kind of team this Oklahoma ball club is.
They'll make it 8 in a row and 20 out of 21. Villanova can hang their heads high. They were the last Big East team, and they got to the final 8. Under a minute to play. Enright hits. And Enright. And it'll be 1-1. Going to the line for Oklahoma will be Jason Skurczynski. So 2 pieces of the puzzle for the 1988 Final Four in the books. Oklahoma of the Big 8 and Duke of the Atlantic Coast Conference. We know they'll have, as Bill mentioned, another Big 8 entry tomorrow as Kansas State meets Kansas. It's a great year for that conference.
And this will be the 4th time this year that Kansas and Kansas State have played each other.
Skurczynski hits the front end of the 1-1. And tomorrow we'll learn the identities of the other 2 teams, either Kansas or Kansas State, and Arizona and North Carolina. Villanova cut this game to 57-54 with 5.5 to go, and Oklahoma went on a huge spree. 17-3 the rest of the way. Out of bounds, Villanova's ball. Billy Tubbs, of course, his first entry into the Final Four.
You think he's excited about this? You know, he said yesterday that the one thing they did with this ball club is they made a commitment to come out and play the defense that he wanted them to play.
Muller has his shot blocked by Mike Bell. Now, the Oklahoma players were saying, if you went against some of the guys we have to go against in practice, you'd understand how good we are, because they could play and start on many teams in the country, and I don't doubt that.
Well, Grace said that they usually beat us, as a matter of fact, when we scrimmage at practice.
21 seconds remaining. Wiley. Oklahoma wins going away, but it was a lot closer than the final score will indicate.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that they were down 7 at halftime, 38-31.
And then 8 points early in the second half. Last year, the Sooners lost, or check that, 3 years ago, beaten by Memphis State in overtime in the Midwest Regional Finals. Knocked out by Iowa last year, and as Billy Tubbs said, we're just a rebound or a tip-in away from getting to the regional finals last season.
Billy Tubbs is so excited over on the sideline. He has not been able to stand still, sit down. He's just pacing back up and down the sidelines.
Wiley, 76-59. Wiley, 78-59. So Oklahoma got 78 points. Final shot. That does it. Oklahoma wins the Southeast Regional. And they did it with defense. Outscoring Villanova 47-21 in the second half. The winning coach, Billy Tubbs and Monty Johnson of the Big 8. 78-59. You're doing fine, Oklahoma. They are, and they're on their way to Kansas City. Jim Nance will come around after we break for these messages from New York City.
Congratulations. Good job, Dave.
So, Jim Nance along with James Brown in New York. And James, the Big 8 now assured of at least, two spots. They'll have 2 spots in the Final Four because Kansas and Kansas State play tomorrow. And it was a 38-11 run by the Sooners in the final 14 minutes. Villanova had led the game 48-40 when the Sooners exploded 38-11 the rest of the way. The Chevy MVPs, Doug West for Villanova. He had 18 points. and Stacey King for Oklahoma, 26 points for the winning Sooners. Right now, let's take you back to Birmingham and the Southeast Regional Champion Oklahoma Sooners. Here's Dick Stockton.
All right, Jim, and the latest team going to Kansas City is Oklahoma, 78-59. I'm here with Stacey King and Billy Tubbs. A great effort. Billy, when you were down by 7 at the halftime, I knew you had to be concerned with the way Villanova was controlling the pace. What did you do?
Well, we were really concerned. Villanova played a great game, had great strategy, and I'm so proud of our team from the fact we lost our composure a little bit right before halftime, and we were down a little bit in the locker room, but I think our guys showed a lot of poise and composure in coming back and taking control of the game.
28 points and 11 rebounds for this fella with you here, Bill.
And without Stacey King, it could have been a lot different, Coach, because you were struggling there, and he was the one keeping the team. Were you concerned with it have to be playing defense for maybe 30 seconds at stretches?
Well, we knew they were going to spread the offense out, so all we had to do was go out there and keep our composure. And I think we came out in the second half and played Oklahoma-style basketball, and we took it right at them.
You looking forward to Kansas City?
Yes, sir, I really am, and I hope we can get back and win the whole thing.
Well, good luck to you.
All right, Oklahoma wins. Congratulations, Billy and Stacey and Jim Nance, and James Brown will be back in the studio when we come back in just a moment.
So Duke University is going to the Final Four for the second time in 3 years after the win today. Oklahoma for the first time in 41 years. And for James Brown, Jim Nance saying so long to New York. We'll see you tomorrow as we continue on the road to the Final Four.
Ball is set. You feel the touch tonight. The rhythm in your shot and your step is light. The crowd goes wild. As much is known. Win another game.